you take it last out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I am too excited. Okay, I am Vic Jagger from Magic 102.3 and 92.7, and welcome to Grown Folk Fridays. Today, I have been so looking forward to this singer, songwriter, Grammy nominated, beautiful person inside and out. Give her all the awards, okay? Philly's own Miss Jazmine Sullivan. How are you?
Hey.
Hey girl, we had to create a vibe for you. And I created a vibe. They know usually I have like a little blank background, but I was like, nah, talking to
I feel it. I feel it. I feel the
Jazz.
energy.
To light a candle or two,
I feel it.
Oh man. So girl, I would ask you, like, okay, so what have you learned a new skill in the pandemic? What have you but you've been booked and busy. Okay. So let's be
Yes.
clear. Work don't stop. Congratulations on the big game performance.
Thank you.
It was amazing. I'm
Thank
sure you read all the reviews, which everyone was praising you like, yes, yes. And I think I joined in on Twitter when I was like, why didn't you let my girl sing by herself? Because I mean, no shade to Eric Church, but we felt like this is your moment. And it
you.
was. And I'm going to say, you don't have to say it. I'm going to say you stole the show and
Oh,
you did your thing. So can you talk about like what was going through your mind? I'm sure, well, I'm not saying I'm sure you were nervous, but I would have been super nervous, but you killed it, girl.
thank you. I mean, when I got the call, my mouth dropped. I definitely never expected to even get that call for the Super Bowl. And then they said that it would be a duet, and I thought it would be cool because I'm a fan of like blending different sounds and stuff like that. So I
Mhm.
thought it would be interesting to bring that moment. And so I was cool with it. I feel like that's what needed to happen now. I feel like hopefully there would be a moment where I could sing it by myself and give that moment for, everybody who supports Jasmine Sullivan and wants me to have that moment as well as myself. But I was grateful for what this represented and, just happy to be in a number. And, I was happy that her was there. The fact that we got to share that moment together, being as though she was on the project. And, I love her as an artist and like as a little sis, I just think she's super dope. So
She
it
is
was,
so
it was
dope.
a cool moment.
I love it. And so we're going to definitely get into hotels. Oh, wow, I love it. I love it. But I want to build up to that because you have such an incredible journey. And I think that there are so many different lessons. Of course, it comes out in your music, but it starts at the foundation, little Jasmine Sullivan. Um, Knowing that you had a voice, your mom was a singer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and your dad was a curator for what was it, Strawberry Mansion
Yep.
in
Yep. He
Philly.
used to take people on tours. He knew all the history of the mansion. And that's so funny. Nobody ever talks about my dad, but yeah,
No, because
he
I
held
thought it
it
was so
down.
interesting. Shout out to Dad, but
Definitely. I definitely had a very interesting upbringing. A lot of the time I was like off to myself because where I lived was kind of separated from like the hood. I only really got to see like my friends basically in school. My mom didn't really let me go around the neighborhood too much. So I had a lot of time to myself. She always kept me like active, singing and in different acting things and stuff like that. So I definitely credit them for like seeing that I had a gift and like nurturing it. And I'm so big on that with kids and like with parents to like, if you see something special in your kid, like really take the time to like get to hone in on that so that they know that they can do that and they can be whatever they want.
absolutely. And I know, like, being a young entertainer, it starts off like, I'm sure it was like the best thing ever to be on a stage or to perform in front of a lot of people. And I know at 15, having that was like your very first like record deal.
Mhm.
And I'm sure the excitement with that. I have a 16-year-old son, and I'm just imagining like his first game, his first performance and how excited I was for that. But also, there are some ups and downs with that. And being a young woman and everything that happened with the first deal, did it shape the way you saw the music industry as a teenager? And what made you still want to pursue your dream of singing?
I mean, um, it made me not take a lot of this stuff to heart, for real, for real. Like the fact that I was signed and then I got dropped. I could have folded at that moment, but I decided that this is what I wanted to do and that I was going to keep going. And just in life, you're going to have a lot of disappointments. Like it's going to be a lot of times that things don't happen for you or you mess up or whatever, and you just got to make up in your mind that you're going to keep going. And that's what that taught me very early. Like, just because this didn't happen don't mean that it won't ever happen. I just got
Yeah.
to keep pressing.
Right.
And so yeah, that's really what that taught me. And I'm still feeling that way to the day. And I'm so glad that I kept going. Like I took my breaks, but it never crossed my mind that I wouldn't come back. I just needed some time to kind of like collect myself.
Yeah.
And I'm an advocate for like taking breaks, period, because I feel like a lot of times we push ourselves to the limit and we don't allow ourselves to have moments where we like address our mental health and get ourselves together. And then you see people crack, like they can't handle it. But it had
Right.
you taking your
Right.
break and you like fixed some things that was going wrong, you will be able to continue on in your journey. It wouldn't feel so hard at that time. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I learned that definitely.
So where was the turning point after that? Because I know that you started writing, you wrote a smash, okay, for I don't think a lot of people knew that you had, at the time that you had wrote and recorded Say Ah, and then coming off of that, having your big breakthrough, um, did you expect that, like, as far as going from a songwriter to working on your first album, getting involved with Missy and everything? How did that, uh I guess, change the trajectory of your path? Like, were
It was
you
all
ready?
a natural flow for me. Like everything that I did in my life just felt natural. Felt like I was just growing into a new version of myself. So nothing ever felt like, okay, you making this huge big turn and big change. Like everything was growing me into the woman that I am now. So I started off, you know, at a record deal. I didn't write at all when I first started, or I didn't have a chance to write. Missy wrote a lot of my songs, but I met Missy. Then I was able to work with her, and from her working with me, she seen later that I had the gift to write, and I started writing for my own project. And like all of it was very, very natural, just a natural progression.
And when you came like through with Fearless, girl, I'm talking about Need You Bad, Bust Your Windows. I think every dude was like, wait a minute, what? Y'all really singing this to the top of your lungs? Because it was something that we hadn't really heard. We like, that's right. Lions and Tigers and Bears. My favorite, My Foolish Heart. And it was just like this powerful voice that is really speaking to how a lot of women were feeling or had gone through, was telling stories that we could definitely relate to. Did you get a whole lot of criticism back then? Because it was very early in your career, your first project. Some of the fellows was like, really? This what y'all this how y'all feeling?
Yeah, the men was mad, especially at Buster Windows. But you know what? They love Need You Bad. And they felt like, women never really take accountability for being wrong. And
Right.
I'm never gonna lean too much on either side. Like as a woman, sometimes we right, sometimes we wrong. I can say that I'm sorry as well as want to bust your windows out because you did too much. You did the wrong thing,
Right.
but I just want to be real and like whatever it is that I'm saying. And we're not monolithic. Like you can be so many different things and feel so many different ways as a human being. I just want to bring all those different perspectives to my music.
Okay. And then so jump into the next project, Love Me Back. And that's kind of where, after following that, that's where you kind of announced that you were just going to take a break and from from music. And I think a lot of people were just like, wait a minute, are you coming back? What's going on? And we really didn't know until you did come back and you kind of explained why you took that break. Now, we've all been through situations, toxic relationships, friendships, even dealing with family. And when you're in it, you're in the midst of it, you can't
Mhm.
really see the light.
Yeah.
And it's like everything is dark around you. So I know you attribute, God and your family for pulling you through that situation. And outside of that, what other self-care routines did you have to go through? Did you journal? Were you writing? Did you just need to shut everything off, around you? When did you see that light, and how did you move towards that from a dark place?
Well, definitely, I owe a lot of it to just building my relationship with God and my family and friends. Like my girlfriends pulled me through, my parents pulled me through that situation, and eventually, it was writing. It was the making of the next project that helped me to come out of that space of just feeling depressed and down and feeling beaten down from being in such a horrible relationship. And I
Yeah.
used that as therapy. Like, me writing those songs was a way for me to get all that sadness and anger and all of that out of my system so that I could eventually move on.
And if there is nothing better than when you get that, when you take control of your life and you get that, wait a minute, they got me effed up. I am the Jazmine Sullivan. I'm like, I am the Vic Jagger. Who y'all got me? And you get that stride back, and when you know that, and it just comes out, and it did exude in your projects. Moving forward, like, oh, she did not come back to play with us, because it's nothing like realizing that. Um, do you recite affirmations daily? Is that something that
um
you?
no, I don't, but I do see that it's necessary, and I definitely
Yeah.
need to, as well as like writing, journaling and stuff like that. Like, when you write out like how you see your future and what you want for yourself and where you see yourself in the future, I believe that all of that will come to fruition if you just put your mind to that.
Yeah.
Um so
Okay.
I know that I need to, and I definitely advocate that, definitely.
Definitely. Like now that's like my thing. I pull 3 affirmations a day and I kind of just meditate on that. So it
That's
really
so
helps
good.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps me every day. So we're at reality show. I'm sorry, I'm going through your journey because it's such an incredible story of like ups and downs and pulling yourself out of things.
Mhm.
So you blessed us with a reality show. You had Meek Mill on there, so you had the Philly link up.
Mhm.
Let It Burn, my favorite. Babyface actually worked on that as well, right?
No, that was a sample of the
Oh, it was a
original.
sample. Oh, that's right.
Yep,
Sorry,
yep.
sample of that. um, Stupid Girl and Forever Don't Last.
Hmm.
But then one thing that I don't think a lot of people knew. Well, I know a lot of people know that your pen is mean, okay? But writing and working with Mary J. Blige, okay, and working on her project, her album, did you feel any type of pressure? Did the words flow for you? Did you already have something like, Mary, listen, I got this song.
No, that was not how that went. First of all, the fact that I'm in contact with Mary still blows my mind because I grew up listening to her. So,
Girl, she's my
like, when
favorite.
she called me, and at that particular time, she like called me and gave me all the tea because she wanted me to write, from her perspective. So she like told me all this stuff, and I was mad. I was ready to fight for her because you don't mess with Queen Mary, baby. You don't do
Right,
that.
right.
But honestly, once I got finished the song, think of it, I didn't think that it was good enough. So I was like, Mary, I don't want to send this song to you. You need to find somebody else to write. It's not good. Girl, you deserve the world. And she was like, if you don't send me that song and let me hear that song. And so she made me send it to her. And she loved it, and went on and did what it did past that. But
Yeah.
um I didn't know. I didn't know. I wasn't confident in it. And you know, you put such a high expectation on yourself, especially if you're writing for somebody like her and somebody
Right.
that you look up to and you love. But I'm glad that, you know, it worked out and everybody loved the song and it did really well. And you know, I love the fact that, you know, she calls me. Like I still can't believe it.
What do you have her as in your phone? MJB or Mary?
I
That
think
was
it's
so
Mary.
random.
It's probably Mary.
So when you write, does because I know that you do pull from experiences and some of those experiences are dark. Does it take you to that dark moment again where you may feel like you opened up a wound and that's a part of your healing, or have you already, you know, kind of gotten past that, healed, and now you're like, I'm just telling a story?
It depends, but I think that you, even if you have gone through it and you have healed, you have to kind of open it up a little bit to get the feeling across in the record.
Yeah.
So sometimes I really actively am like experiencing it at that moment, and I'm just kind of spilling out from what I'm going through. And then sometimes, you know, I may have gotten through it, may have been some years, but you kind of got to go back into that space so that when you sing it, people feel it. They feel like you in it at that moment.
And we definitely like just singing like we wrote it. And I always say that on the air. I'm like, y'all know I'm singing this like I wrote it, right? And so working with, you know, Bryson Tiller for Insecure for the soundtrack, girl, when I tell you, I was so happy when you basically the song went viral for one run. Is it a run? You know, I'm not a singer, but it's a run, right? And I thought it was so dope that you came on to teach people how to do that run. Because girl, after that, I was in my room practicing. Not even a singer, but the way you explained it, it was like, all right, no more. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, man. I just want people to feel like, I mean, listen, like if you practice at something, you could get it too. It's, you know, like you look at artists and stars, like they're so spectacular. And most of the time,
Yeah.
a star or artist is just somebody who just worked at something super hard. And like that's literally the only difference between you and that person. So I'm like, if you are an aspiring singer
No.
and you're not getting it right now, let me just break it down for you so you could just practice a little more and then you'll get it too. Like it's, you know, we
Yes,
ain't nobody
man.
superhuman in this world.
Even Brandy was like, wait, I saw a video of you guys go backwards. She was like, no, because you do. It's like, nobody is going to run like Jazmine. She will outrun you. Things that so
It's a lot of people that run you know, their runs are crazy, but like it's not for me, it ain't me about comparison. Like I do what I do, everybody does
yeah.
what they does. Like you just gotta do what you do and like that's
Yeah.
focus on that. That's it.
So, you know, in 2020, you kind of dropped Lost One. It was almost like, I'm just set that right there for y'all. And like social media just went crazy because they like Jazmine back, Jazmine back, y'all. Right. And so then you know, then we found out about hotels. And I was like, dang, that's a good ass title. Like, and so and so it's an EP, right? I need you to kind of break this down. So I want to say that I saw something on Twitter where you were like, it's not an album or it's an EP, like kind of making a distinction.
It's an EP, yeah, because I felt like it's not a lot of songs on it. It's only 7 songs. And
Okay. So what's the
you know,
difference when you do say that? Like, y'all, it's an EP.
well, for me, it was just about the amount of content. I just felt like it
Okay.
wasn't enough after all them years to call an album. But I do feel like the interludes made it feel fuller. And like you look, when people heard the interludes, it almost felt like an extension of the song. So it made it
Right.
feel like, you know, more like an album. So, you know, at this point, I'm like, you could call it whatever you want. I just want you to feel it. Like whatever you
Oh,
want to
whatever
call
you
it.
want.
I call it easy. If you want to call it album, that's fine. But
Right. Them Jazmine Sullivan songs, right?
yes.
So, you know, Hotels came out, and the first thing I listened to the album, the EP, like through and through. Like it's still on repeat in the car, all of that. And I was just like, you know what? This is like making a group chat public. That's all. Like, if you have a good girlfriend group chat,
Yeah.
you know that a lot of these conversations are had there. Everybody has their hotel,
Yeah.
and so it was really relatable. It was screaming, feminism and accountability, um, sexuality, things that a lot of times you feel like there are certain boundaries, but you were like, get this boundary out of here. We want to tell these stories. And it was like, yeah, your mama used to be a hoe too when she was married. So it's like super real. And then, we were screaming when you kind of put it out there in the Twitter sphere or Twitter sphere, whatever, to Issa Rae about, now listen, Issa, we gonna link up or what? And
Yes.
Black Twitter is like our own group chat,
It
okay?
is.
And
Yeah.
so Issa was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So is that definitely happening? As much as you can tell us about,
So we have been texting. Obviously she busy. She got so many projects going on, and I'm busy now with like different things that I'm doing. We're trying to find a time to actually move forward with doing it. She reassured me that she definitely is all in. Like she wants to do this project. I like feel like it's nobody better than her because how
absolutely.
she just brings characters to life with Insecure, and we connect with it as women. And I feel like she would do and could do the same thing with the women from Hotels, and just having that visual to further explain how we feel and like how we think and stuff like that. I just think it's super dope. So I believe it's coming. I can't tell you when, but like when we get some time to actually do it, we both are all in.
Well, we are definitely all in with y'all. um, you worked with our good sis Ari Lennox, and
Yes.
woo, two powerhouses, man. I still listen to her album, so it's just like she's such an incredible artist,
Yes.
and she had Ari's Tale, and then on it, I was like, now spit what? Now what, really? This what we doing? Okay, let me hear that again. Let me rewind that back. How did you link up with Ari? Did you already have her in mind to work on the project, or how did that come about?
So I heard my girlfriend actually sent me her her story or her live or whatever with her talking about what she was talking about on the tail. And I was like, oh my God, I have to include that. That fits right in with what I'm talking about on the project. And she let us use that or whatever. And as I was listening to the project, I'm like, yo, people are going to trip if I don't actually have a song with her, because I didn't have a song at first.
Yeah.
So I wrote her. I was like, listen, we have to do something for this project. People are going to be so mad if we don't get on a song. I'm like, do you have anything? Like, because I was like literally at the end, the tail end. So she sent me on it, and first my mouth dropped. I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard it,
Okay, so then it wasn't just me. Okay, even your
my mouth dropped. But I was like, this is perfect because it just fits so well with the project, and just kind of like owning your sexuality. And it's a powerful statement from women, basically saying like, this is what I want, and like you need to give it to me. And like, I feel like as women, we're taught to be so mild and meek and kind of let men kind of take control and tell us what to do. And like we got to come out of that, and we are coming out of that as women, and we like owning our space and taking our power back. And that's what the
yes.
song was saying, like, this is what I want, and you won't give it to me, period.
Period. Okay. So you have Antoinette, Donna,
Yeah.
Rashida,
Mhm.
Precious, and Amanda. What made you choose these stories to tell?
Well, first of all, these are like my best friends and family members, and they were just stories that I felt like needed to be told. I mean, I feel like as women, like we've been silenced, and nobody wants to see us in any different light than the way that they have imagined a woman to be, and especially imagine a Black woman to be. And it's just like, nah, we
We
have
mess
so many.
up. players mess up too, you
We
know.
got so many different sides to us. Yeah. And even if we mess up, that ain't even a mess up. Because if we learn from it, then
We
it's just
learn from it.
it just made us better, made us who we are now at this point.
Well, wait,
Um,
Jazmine, you can't say that right here because then the fella's gonna try to use that on us, and then you're gonna have another hotel about somebody busting a window out because he said,
yeah, you know what? I might bring that back for this for the deluxe. Bring bust the windows back. But yeah, I just thought these were stories that need to be told. These are conversations that I've had with my girlfriend since we were 15. So like we've
Mhm.
literally grown up together. You know what I'm saying? And like we've
Yeah,
experienced so much. We've gone from little girls falling in love and out of love and getting hurt to now we're grown. We have kids. You know, we're business women. We singing at the Super Bowl, all that stuff. So all them years have been lessons, life lessons. And I'm just like, this stuff right here is what people need to hear. Number one, so
mhm.
they can grow, and number two, so they can see that we all experiencing the same things. We all the same. Like, so you don't need to feel no
Yeah,
shame in nothing. You don't need to judge the next woman. Like, I want to bring unity back with women. Like, we got to stick together. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many things
absolutely.
up against us, and so many people that want to silence us. We got to be each other's biggest fans and cheering each other on.
Yeah, because one thing that you touched on within the within the songs and within the tales was social media and how the comparison and how social media can kind of really you know make a lot of women insecure because of the things that they do see. But you also, in speaking with you in this interview, just gave a lot of powerful reasons how social media is a great thing and can bring people together and artists together. So is there, do you have that balance with social media, like, you know what, I'm just going to use it for this, I'm not getting caught up in this? And how has social media changed since you came in the game? And basically anything you do, Jazmine, you know, it's going to be a whole dissertation about it, first of all. You know, you have comments on comments. And as I'm not an artist, but I'm just thinking, like, if my name is all over social media, at some point I'm going to probably look and see what the heck they're talking about. Or
Yeah.
so,
I
yeah,
do
how is
have
that?
balance and I could be even more balanced, but I definitely know that you have to create that, especially with social media, because you get on there and you know you're presented with the best of what people have to offer. That's what it is. So it's not necessarily the truth. It's the best of what everybody is showing of their lives. And it's easy to just compare yourself to people's life, the
Girl,
bodies, lifestyles,
is
families,
it
all
really
of
the
that
best? Because
stuff.
you already know not your car. Those are not your shoes. I just found out that people buy luxury boxes off of eBay so they can post them up in their on
Man, it's
their
crazy.
Instagram
And
pages. So,
you sit there, you go on there and you thinking that you know you getting the truth even, and that's not even the reality. So you know, you got to keep that in mind definitely. And also, like, I'm an advocate for like getting off of social media altogether. Like, if it's too much,
yeah,
take your time to yourself, you know, so that you can like really appreciate and value your own life. And then when you feel full like that, you can come back and like kind of get back into the shenanigans. But also it is a good place as far as like networking and stuff like that. So you just gotta, you really have to find a balance. And I'm working on that, but I feel like I'm good because I don't pay too much attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go in
right,
there,
yeah.
I promote what I got to, and then, you know, I kind of leave it alone.
Would you ever answer if somebody slid into your DMs? Would you ever kind of like fulfill a curiosity, like, maybe I'll answer? Because I'm sure you have folks sliding in your DMs all the time.
Well, I've been in a relationship for 3 years, so nobody really be
Oh,
sliding in my
sis.
DMs. But if
Yeah.
I was single, I guess it depends on who it was and how they approach me. Like, you know,
See, I
you
didn't
can't
want
just.
to get in your business and ask you if you was with somebody dating, what
Oh
you was
no, it's cool.
doing.
Yeah, it's 3 years, so it's old now.
Right.
We in
Yeah.
it.
In it. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I wonder. So, your significant other, when he heard hotels, or when they heard hotels, um, did was there any conversation like, Oh, this was before me, or
Well, he was
is this
concerned
your
that people
friend's
would
story?
he was concerned that people would think that that's my life now,
Okay.
as opposed to before, I got into the relationship. But he's so super cool about like me and how I express myself as an artist and stuff like that. So he really don't trip. Like he be like, do your thing, like, I
Yeah,
support you. So that's pretty much his
that's dope.
stance.
Black love.
Yes.
All right, Jasmine, I want to play a little game with you real quick.
Okay.
And I think you're going to knock this out the park. So I do a little something called Who Said That? All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to, and I'm not going to say it in any rhythm or anything, but I'm going to give you some lyrics. And I just need for you to tell me who said that.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. Here's the first one. We lay beneath the stars under a lover's tree that's seen through the eyes of the mind. I reach out for the part of me that lives in you that only our two hearts can find.
You said you thought I was gonna be good at this. I'm gonna tell you I don't
Oh,
know
look,
songs like
I
that.
don't want to bore you with. Okay.
Oh. You know what? I love you. I love you. I love you. I don't want to bore you.
Definitely.
That's Phoebe, right?
Yes. Yes. All right.
Man, you know what's funny? Every time I go, like if I see Stevie or I have to sing, like I love Stevie like from the core of me. Like he's literally my inspiration. But when I go to sing his songs, I don't know a lyric. And I didn't know his songs till I'm like in a position to sing it.
Can I make a confession?
What?
Whenever I'm singing your songs, it's like I know like a few words, and then I'm like,
that's what I'm saying. Like it'd be like the melody, like you know it, you feel it, but you don't necessarily know it the way you think you know it. So that's what happened with Stevie. Every time I'd be like, I'm so glad he cool because I would be mad.
Okay, but you still cool. you still got it right. You got it right.
Girl, you had to tell me the hook.
Okay, so I know for a fact you're gonna get this one. Who said this? Girlfriend, let me break it down for you again. You know I only say it because I'm truly genuine. Don't be a hard rock. Okay. All right. Next. Here we go. Boy, I saw you as soon as you came bouncing through the door. You and your mans in them just
Brandy.
No, but who do all those people like? What do they have in common? Those are all people that, influenced you in your.
I mean, they all just bring a certain soul. They bring like.
No, I was answering it for you because that's what I was looking around and to see who influenced you early in your career. I had to go back, Jazmine. Now I had to go back through interviews to find out who you said had influenced you, and then I did all this work to find out. No, you did a great job.
I'm telling you, I love people, but me and lyrics and stuff like that, like I know the melody, but lyrics, whoo. But I knew Lauren. You know, I knew the Lauren lyrics because when that album came out, like when I say I might have been like 11, but that thing stuck to me like glue. Like Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was just like, baby, you would have thought I was 35.
Absolutely. Jazmine, I could talk to you all day. It has been such a joy. And I'm just so proud of you and everything that you do. Just know we are all rooting for you and we love you. And thank you so much. And let me just ask you what you have coming up. I know you're booked and busy.
Yeah, we got some some more virtual shows coming up. I want to do like a live ticketed show for my fans of hotels until I can get out and like actually touch everybody and do a live show of hotels. I'm still waiting on the Issa Rae project to happen, and I believe that it's going to happen. I got a lot of features, like it's so many features that we're trying to pick and choose the right ones to do. So it's going to definitely be a lot more music.
Yes, pick and choose. You gotta have options. Yes, Jazmine, options. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Of course, we have to leave on a great note. playing some Jazmine Sullivan, okay? Because it always sets the right vibe. So thank you. We love you.
Thank you so much.
DJ Face.
Nice to meet you, Jazmine.
He's so pressed. He's so pressed.
I've been acting different, yeah. Funny how I finally took the tripping, yeah. When you the one who's double dipping, yeah. You so sloppy how I caught you slipping.